What's good, everybody? It's your boy Don. We are back with another video. Today, we gotta talk about The Last Dance, man. Amazing series. Really, it really was. It was a joy to watch. It was a joy to kind of go back in time, and see clips of things that you've probably never seen before or even heard before. Even though there were bits and pieces of stories that you might have heard, you never really got the inside of it, like stuff such as the flu game. It was really food poisoning, which is not surprising, by the way, because of course, when you're playing in an away game in the finals, of course they would try and poison you. I had never believed the narrative, by the way, that he went out drinking or something like that. Champions of his nature wouldn't go and do something like that. So that goes to show you that people will try to make up whatever, even if they don't know the facts. But I will come back to that. When it comes to Michael Jordan, there's nobody larger than life in the world of basketball than him, even though there have been many people of his mold, who have also have similar success. But Michael Jordan is the guy that started a lot of the movement of basketball that we have today. Start with him. He put in the tools in a lot of these young kids' heads who ended up becoming great college players, great NBA players alike, So when I review The Last Dance, for me, The Last Dance is not about basketball as much. The Last Dance to me is about life and how a person like Michael Jordan was able to use basketball as a way to show the world what it is or what it takes to be considered the greatest to ever do something. And not a lot of people can say that. Not a lot of people can say even today, this that man is the just the greatest basketball player that ever played that game because of who he was. And I'm you know me on this channel. I'm not a stats guy. I'm not gonna come here and say, oh, 32 points in the finals, fifth ball. LeBron had 51% shooting. No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. It means very little. If you are somebody like that making sports comparisons like that, that means you're overcompensating for something that is clear. That he will not. And when I say he, I mean LeBron. LeBron will not be Michael. LeBron will be LeBron, but he ain't Michael. Kobe is more Michael than LeBron will ever be Michael. Then that's just a fact. But back to The Last Dance. I think one of the biggest things that I want to focus on when I make this video, because of course we know the spectacular plays, we know the game-winning shots, we know the pass to Kerr, we know the pass to Paxson, we know beating the bad boys. So I'm not really gonna go on the basketball side. I wanna go into a life side of this. So what does Michael Jordan's contribution mean to society? You know, and why I say society, because there are many, many people who would still argue that, as great as he was, that he's never really had a big impact outside of the world of sports. And to those people, I would say that, is it really that important? Is it really that important that he might not be the ultimate uh, public figure that people want him to be, like LeBron is? For example, like LeBron gave the speech to the graduates the other day, it was a fantastic speech. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check that out on YouTube. Fantastic speech. But my thing was that when I look at Jordan stepped on that basketball court, and when he stepped off that basketball court, there was no doubt in your brain that he was the greatest guy to do it. So within his craft, the game of basketball, he set a standard that nobody had set before him, and which is why they can call him the greatest. Not for the things that you have to do outside of it, whether it's public appearances or political stances or stuff like that. And I think that's how the world has changed now. We're constantly looking for a celebrity endorsement, especially for African American people. You know, where I feel like we're always looking for a celebrity endorsement to justify our struggles or justify why we aren't where we are. When when I look at Michael, I think if you look at his career, if you can't get inspired by the stuff that Michael has done over the course of his life, just by playing basketball, then maybe he's not the guy you should be following. You know, honestly, like really think about that. Maybe Michael is not the guy you should be following if you can't get inspired by the things he does. Why does he have to speak out and constantly give opinions on things that wouldn't change whether he speaks to them or not? You can talk about kids going through violence when trying to buy his shoes, but I would argue that and say that no matter what happens, before those kids buy the shoes, they're often already fighting, you know, and I think it served Michael better over the years not to say much because at the end of the day, people are gonna have their opinion about you anyway, no matter what you do. So I think that Jordan just feels like I want to be known as a guy who was the greatest to ever do it on the court. Anything outside of that, that's not really my business. And I think today we put a lot of pressure on these athletes to be more than what they signed up for to be. And it's great if you're a guy like LeBron who's built his own school, which is like a dream of mine to be able to do, to make a school for people that can't afford it so that they have a world class education and an opportunity to go further in life. I'm not knocking LeBron for it. But if we're talking strictly basketball, on the last dance, like we saw, ain't nobody better than him. Not better than Michael Jordan. No way. Because he made you realize that there's different levels between success. You can be a successful player, you can be an all-star, but there's a level beyond that Michael had. And it's because Michael had that. It's what drove a lot of his teammates. It drove a lot of his teammates to kind of overachieve sometimes. Because you didn't want to be known as the guy that couldn't help Michael Jordan deliver. And I think that's what made the Bulls successful. And that's why teams like LeBron's teams don't have that. You know, they don't have his play doesn't really elevate. His play carries weight, but other players aren't really gonna elevate because they didn't he didn't have that pull on them to do that. LeBron had that pull. And Kobe was just nice. Kobe was different. Kobe was just nice, you know. But LeBron and Jordan, there's no debate for me. There's no debate for me. But let me know what you think overall in a life perspective. What do you think of Michael Jordan overall as the basketball player, and then ultimately his legacy? Do you think it's a good way to end everything over the years, or did you guys want him to do more outside of basketball? Um, is he the go to you? Is LeBron the go to you? Or is somebody else like Magic the go to you? Let me know in the comment section, man. It was actually a wonderful series to watch. I hope in the future we have more things like that to watch during quarantine so we could really discuss these topics. And yeah, for now, it's your boy Don. Check out my other videos. I got plenty more on the way, and I'll see y'all next time, man. Peace. I'm out.